the NFL, its pathetic, simp, cuck, low-T sports media sycophants, as well as some of the most pathetic fans in the NFL. I am, of course, talking about the Kansas City Chiefs, the team that has been the most favored team in the NFL for years, and everyone knows it. They have launched a concerted effort to go after the best organization in football, the Philadelphia Eagles. The Philadelphia fan base, as we all know, has always been the villain and the target. But now they are fans of the premier organization in football, and the jealousy is absolutely wonderful. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for being here. Appreciate all of your support. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Do me a favor, if you're enjoying the content, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. We are going to run through some of the fallout from the Eagles' win in Kansas City because it is crazy. I never thought I would see or hear anything like this. These people are an absolute embarrassment. I know they don't have the intelligence to understand that they should be embarrassed for what they are doing, but this is absolutely an all-out attack on the Philadelphia Eagles out of pure hatred and jealousy. And we'll start with little Nicky Knows Right and his nonsense. I've got about a minute here. He goes on and on and on, but the first minute is about all you have to listen to if you can stomach it. And then we're going to talk about it. And we have so much more. This is wild.
Because the story of yesterday's game is a pretty important seminal moment.
My goodness gracious, we've got...
Because I remember vividly in the first game of Jawan Taylor's career as a Chief, Thursday Night Football, standalone national TV, Chris Collinsworth was like, this guy jumps too often. And the whole world saw it and the whole league saw it. Well, thanks to the great Tom Brady and the great Dean Blandino, who I got to see briefly in Kansas City, they shined a spotlight on what all of us have known for 4 years. Not only is the tush push an ugly play, they jump on it every damn time. We'll show. When they don't jump on it, it's not quite as effective, and when they do jump on it, it's unstoppable. And yesterday's game will be known as the day the tush push died.
Okay, let's talk about little bitchy right. I'm sorry. This is like, I cringe watching this. I know he's not embarrassed, but I am embarrassed for him. This is so absolutely pathetic. And we'll get to Deanie Blandino in a minute. And by the way, we've got receipts for all of their bullshit and lies, pardon my French. But just to give you an example of how pathetic and how weak they are, and we got to bring Adam Schefter, Schleppy Schlepp in here as well. But check this out. Christopher, this will really crack you up. Christopher, the Warrior. That's little Chrissy's name. They not only jumped early in every tush push except one, but they line up offsides every single time. And of course, this is a complete and total lie looking straight down like this, because that line is not anywhere near where the football is. And I thought I would be nice to little Chrissy, the Warrior, and say, hey, what a little bitch. Yes, I did say that because I've seen this crap all day. They did not. This is pathetic. And as I've shown you here, this was actually a neutral zone infraction on the Chiefs. Now, I believe that there was someone for the Eagles that moved early on here, if you do on super slow-mo. But again, it does not matter because the Kansas City Chiefs are in the neutral zone. So what did Chrissy the Warrior do just by me putting that reply? Chrissy the Warrior, who lied with this image. And if he knows football at all, knows he lied. Well, see if we go like this. See why I can't see Chrissy's numbers? Because he has me blocked. Little Chrissy has Chris Marino, the Warrior, has blocked me for exposing his lies. And there we go. Let's go. Adam Schefter, little Schlepp himself, says the Eagles only beat the Chiefs yesterday because of the tush push. This game was lost when the NFL owners refused to ban the tush push. It wasn't lost yesterday. It was lost in March. I want you to think about that for a second. These are the guys that are the supposed experts. These are the guys getting paid all this money for places like Fox Sports and ESPN to tell you about football when, in fact, you clearly know more than they do. They can't get out of their fields. To watch that game and say that this was lost in March because of one play that isn't even run that many times. And by the way, I think we all know that the Philadelphia Eagles would be incredible at the QB sneak without the tush push. And a lot of times it basically is just a quarterback sneak. Personally, I like brotherly shove, but anyway, we happen to have a quarterback who can squat 600 pounds and the best offensive line in football. And as you saw in that previous image, the whole thing about everyone lining up off sides is a complete and total lie. And we'll get to more of that in a moment. But yeah, we had it. I think we have it here. We got Adam talking about this nonsense right here. Let's roll with this, see what Adam has to say.
The biggest thing here to me is that this game was lost in March. This game was lost when the NFL owners refused to ban the tush push from happening. It wasn't lost yesterday. It was lost in March. And there might be a lot of games that the Eagles play that are lost in March because this play is unstoppable. It not only does the defense not know how to handle it, but even the officials don't even know how to handle it. You're seeing the Eagles linemen jump off sides every play, and nothing's called.
It's a false start.
So the officials have no idea. Defenses have no idea, and the Eagles get to do whatever they want on every single play in the tush push. And again, I know people hate it, but they have mastered it. They have dominated the line of scrimmage.
Wow. So clearly, we have absolutely broken the entire NFL. They're all laughing. They're all talking about this false start. And the evidence, of course, now I'm not saying there aren't times when there aren't false starts. We all know how the officiating is in the NFL. All right, now I want to get to Dan Blandino and then talk about this as well because this has gotten so ridiculous, so ridiculously out of hand. There we go. All right, let's listen to this.
Watching the game, next thing I know, Dean Blandino says he's done with the tush push. Can't officiate. And I go, Dean, your microphone is on. What was the reaction? Why did you have that reaction in the moment?
That was a visceral reaction. Look, we had the game, obviously, Chiefs, Eagles, big Super Bowl rematch. And, we had a couple of the Eagles, look, the play, they run it better than anyone else. And they work at it, and it's impressive what they do. But just in that game, we had a couple, two goal-to-go plays, third down, looks like Hurts is in. They rule him short. It's really tough to review. Can't see the football, all these bodies. Next play, 4th and goal, they rule touchdown. You've got both guards moving early. Should have been a false start. Then later in the game, another big first down conversion, and you've got the
Okay, so see, here's where it's the BS anti-Philly lies that they cannot get out of their head. First of all, Dan, it didn't look like Hurts was in. He was in. So you're going to tell me about this was lost back in March. The Eagles had a touchdown taken away. It was blatantly obvious. You could clearly see it in the replay that was a touchdown, and yet they had to run the play again because of that. And then this other nonsense about how difficult it is because you can't see the football and you don't wear them. When has that not been a thing in football? That has always been a thing in football in short yardage situations when a team might need less than a yard or a few inches, whether it's on the field of play or especially down by the goal line where you can't necessarily see the football because of all the bodies. And again, he talks about the guards moving. Well, we can go back to that. The Kansas City Chiefs are lined up, multiple Chiefs lined up in the neutral zone. So the penalty, no matter what happens next, the penalty is on the Kansas City Chiefs. And by the way, let's take a look at this just out of curiosity. Let's see what happened here, folks. Okay, I'll see if I can bring this one up. Pay attention to this. We'll show it in slow-mo. Oh, wait, is that a Kansas City Chief who's moving? And then the Eagle reacts. Do you know what we call that? We call that offside, folks. That is not a penalty on the Philadelphia Eagles. There it is. There it is. No, that is a penalty on the Kansas City Chiefs. So we have a concerted effort. And this is the other thing I want to get into because this is where we'll really dig into it with Dan saying about how you got to get rid of it because it's too tough to officiate. What the hell are we talking about? Have we had conversations about the pathetic officiating in the NFL, which, let's face it, is not just incompetence, but is absolutely also corruption? The rest of the league simply is not tough enough to run this play well. They don't have the personnel to run this play well. If everyone could do it, everyone would do it. This is some of the most embarrassing low T simp nonsense I have ever seen from the NFL media. They are all a complete embarrassment. I have no reason to listen to any of them going forward. They have exposed themselves as just being emotional children who dislike the Philadelphia Eagles and their fan base. Nick Wright, you are not a man, Nick Wright. Adam Schlepp, you are not a man. By the way, Adam, who is signing your checks? Who told you to go on and make those comments in a game where we had the Andy Reid going for it on fourth down in his own half of the field and getting stopped, giving the Eagles a give me field goal. We had Travis Kelce dropping a touchdown pass that gave the Philadelphia Eagles an interception. Okay? We had a lot of things in that game. It was not won because of one play at one time. And again, by the way, we scored a touchdown on the play before that. But we want to get into officiating. How about the fact that Jalen Carter is the most dominant player in the NFL right now, and he gets held on every single play? And it is not called. Holding calls are tough, right? Maybe we should eliminate contact between the offensive and defensive lines because holding calls are so difficult. How about the fake slides now by the quarterbacks and how late they slide because of the way the game is officiating, and defenders are absolutely terrified to get anywhere near a quarterback. And now you've got quarterbacks that either slide very, very late because the defenders have already stopped because they're worried, so the guys keep going, or they start to slide, but then they don't slide and they keep running. Or I don't know, how about Patrick Mahomes running toward the sideline and out of bounds and then picking up extra yards because the defenders are afraid to get near him? How about the difficulty of the roughing the passer call? Which, by the way, if you want to single out a play, there's another one we could single out. That was an absolute joke of a roughing the passer call in favor of Patrick Mahomes, as it always is. That was a terrible call. That is a difficult call to make, so I guess we ought to get rid of that. So I guess what? Either eliminate the roughing the passer, so let them hit the quarterback whenever they want, or I don't know, eliminate passing, eliminate the quarterback position. Where do we go when we say, well, a play is difficult to officiate, so we have to eliminate it? By the way, those things you're talking about, Danny or Deanie, Weenie, whatever your name is, all of those are the same if it's just a quarterback sneak and not the so-called tush push. The difficulty of where you're going, of whether you can see the ball. None of that changes because it's the tush push. That's what shows me these people are absolutely lying. How about A.J. Brown getting a first down but was given an absolutely terrible spot? Are we saying that is a difficult play? So I don't know. We eliminate. I don't know what. I guess we eliminate the game of football there. What about pass interference? A.J. Brown, again, another obvious pass interference call against the Kansas City Chiefs, and it was not called. Are we saying that's too difficult to call pass interference? So what, are we going to eliminate the passing game? Look, this is a concerted effort to go after the Eagles because NFL sports media hates Philly. They hate the Philly fan base. They always have. But now we've completely broken them because we have shown that the Philadelphia Eagles are the premier organization in the NFL. Everybody wants to be us. We always had a little bit of villain in us because they always hated us. Well, now this is full on Philadelphia Eagles at the top of the villain arc. They all want to beat the Eagles. They all want to be the Eagles. Always the villain. Now we're the villain everyone wants to beat and everyone wants to be. So this is clearly a concerted effort. By the way, I mean, I don't even like to go on Twitter, but I do to look for stuff like this. And it was just all of this all the time, especially from Kansas City Chiefs fans. No one has gotten preferential treatment like Kansas City the last few years, and they're going to whine about this one single play that did not decide this game. And these arguments are absolutely absurd because, as Dean knows, none of the things he complained about change in terms of the officiating if it is just a quarterback on a quarterback sneak, or if it's just giving the ball to the running back in short yardage. What the offensive line does, the pile in there and not being able to see the football, that is all of the same. We are going to get this all season long, folks. And I promise you this, with our offensive line and our quarterback, we're going to run a quarterback sneak and we're going to have the same effectiveness. Because again, if y'all could do it, you would do it. But you can't, so you're embarrassed. And because the Eagles are so damn good, you feel like this is going to give you a scalp if you can eliminate this play. Well, I promise you, we are not going to lose any games because the tush push is eliminated. Just the way it is, folks. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Appreciate you checking out this video. As always, do me a favor, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, help get this channel going. And again, I will be doing, I believe this Sunday as well, we'll be doing a live on 10:30 a.m. Eastern on Sundays. Hope you can tune in for that, or at least check it out right after if you can. And go have a great day. I'll talk to you later.